The godfather of the West Coast, now you know. With Dusty Vision on the side, we ride. Taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene. Classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat. From 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip-hop, like and subscribe.
Hey, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. You are live with the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop and my main man, Dusty Vision. What it be like, Dusty?
Man, can't complain. Lonzo, how's everything going with you, brother?
Hey, you know, it's all right for 2026. I can't complain for the first show of the new year.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's make it happen.
That's what's up. Let's do it, man. Shout out to the chat fam. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you get too comfortable. I see some of the regulars in the building. Let's go. Hey, let's start with this, Lonzo. Good story, man. We're going to start with the good story because for the years we've been discussing Chicago in a negative way. Unfortunately, on the show, it seemed year after year it was just getting really, really bad there. But Chicago recorded the fewest homicides in 60 years in 2025. They only had 416. 60 years.
60 years only had 416. That's still a lot of dead bodies. That's
a lot of dead bodies.
That's over one a day.
Yeah.
That's an easy 1 plus a day. 365 days in the year. You got 316. That means y'all a couple of days y'all doubled up. Hey man, any good news is good news, man. Any good news is good news. If that is 400 is a good decline, I'll take it all day long. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it, right? I mean, 416 sounds like a lot, but you know, year after year, we were hearing numbers of 600, 700, 800, and man, 400.
They was knocking down 15, 20 a weekend.
Yep, exactly.
We had a few weekends. They was knocking down, Ben, come on, dude, like they was at a carnival or something. But yeah, Doc, if 416 is a decline, I think I'm thankful for that.
What do you know about Compton and Los Angeles in that regard? I know you go to a lot of meetings, city meetings, council meetings, and things like that. Do you know if things are looking good in LA, Compton, you know, or things are looking bad?
According to the stats, LA and Compton the murder rate has decreased a lot. I know Compton for a while they had 200 back in the 80s and 90s. It was way up there. It's real.
And keep in mind, Compton is a small city compared to Chicago, people. So per capita, that's
10 square miles, just over 100,000 people in total. Okay. But the population in Compton has changed a lot too. The population in Compton has changed a lot. A lot of folks
gotta break that down, Lonzo.
A lot of folks that lived in Compton in the 80s and 90s, in the early 2000s, don't live there anymore. Compton is predominantly Latino at this point in time. It's like 50, 51, 52% Latino, and a lot of brothers scattered. And in fact, it was really funny. And I say things sometimes, man, not because I'm racist. I'm just observant, and sometimes people can take that the wrong way. But I know when I go to a lot of Compton schools, it's hard to find a black kid. You know, when I went to Centennial, predominantly black, it was maybe 7 Mexicans in the whole school, Latinos in the whole school. I go to Compton High School. You can see them, but they're not the majority. You know, I was in the parade. I videotaped the parade. Not the majority. So you know, sometimes I'm not saying that's why it happened the way it does, but you know, maybe some people on a different path. Maybe they don't want the extra headache. I don't know, man. I have to be very careful on how I analyze things because people can misconstrue that as being racist, but some people have a different agenda. You know, they don't want the extra spotlight. Hey, I'll take that too. If that's gonna keep peace in the streets, I'll take it all day long.
When did you notice the shift from Compton being a predominantly black city to it shifting to being Latino? Because I remember when I was younger and I go to my aunt's house, and I still go to her house to this day. She's owned her home for like 50 years or something like that. And I remember when I was a kid, all black on her street. Now I go, it's all Latino. It is what it is. But you know, what do you remember about that change?
It's been happening for the past 15, 20 years, Doc. A lot of black folks have got tired of the inner city life. Too many people have died. A lot of things haven't changed. People want a new start. And you can't blame them for that, man. You can't blame them for that. They want a new start. They want to see something different. I'm doing better. I can afford more. I can afford to live in Reno Valley, give me a 5-bedroom house with a nice pool and brand new everything. You know, brand new everything. I can afford to go to Lancaster and get brand new everything. You know, it's parts of Lancaster that's, you know, that's nice. Still needs some development, but same thing with Reno Valley. You can go over there and start fresh, but you got to be careful. Because sometimes the problem you're running from is in your back seat.
Now known as Murder Valley, by the way, not Moreno Valley, Murder Valley.
When you move, sometimes you move because you got roaches in the car. You know, I'm tired of these roaches. You pack up. Guess who's in the back? Guess who packed up too? Hey, look at what the hell they come. It's a brand new house. Hey, you brought them with you. I'm not calling nobody a roach, but sometimes the problem that you run from get packed up and follow you out where you going. Just because you change your address don't mean the attitude is going to change.
You can take the boy out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the boy. Is that a proper term to say around this?
I'll take that all day.
Okay.
I'll take it all day.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, a lot to discuss tonight, man. I would love your thoughts on this, Lonzo. Let's jump into a little bit of hip hop. But Big Gip posted a comment, and first person I thought about was you. I would love your thoughts on this. He said, quote, "Black people ain't controlling our culture no more. When we went corporate, we lost the soul," end quote. This has come up in conversation before, but what are your thoughts when you hear something like that? Big Gip from Goody Mob, legend in the game.
I totally agree. Whenever you get a contract, you sign with a corporation, they have an agenda. They're not giving you the money because they like you. They have an agenda, whether the agenda is to magnify what you're doing, or to suppress what you're doing, or to redirect what you're doing. They have an agenda. They don't give you the money just for the hell of it. So if you look up and you see everybody saying the same thing, because most corporations, most people in charge of the music industry are not the creatives. They're not all the visionaries in the music business. Believe it or not, there's not a lot of visionaries. People go by what's moving, what's selling, what's hot, what they think is what's hot, what the illusion is what's hot. There's not very many people plant the flag where the attention is going to be in 6 to 8 months or maybe a year. They only want what's going on right now. So little nutsack and the pubic hairs is hot right now. Shit, I'm gonna give me some more little nutsack and the pubic hairs, baby. You know, it is what it is. Okay, they don't ask for the curly tops and the Jerry curl. They won't give me a little that. Give me another thing, just like little nutsack and the pubic hairs. Okay, so they don't. That's how they think. That's how record come. A perfect example. When the Wreckin' Cru was out, we came out. We got signed to Sony Records. One of the hottest records at that time was Jesse Johnson's Free World. Boom, 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 boom. And they say, "Hey man, I like your album, but go back in the studio and give me a Free World." And that's how you got to fly. Boom, 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 boom. And that's how they do. And then they sit on the album for 8 months. By the time the album came out, Free World and The Fly was dead. But that's how they think, Doc. They'll just as soon hitch their wagon on something that's already hot as opposed to trying to develop something. But here's the crazy part. The acts that are developed are the ones that last the longest. Sometimes the acts that come out the box hot, they like a fire, they like a skyrocket. Pop! Never see them again. And the other ones, they burn like a flare. Burn forever underwater, on the side of the road. They may not be a big flame, but there's a hot one and that's something, but it's burning forever.
Lonzo, people like Elvis Presley are called the king of rock and roll. Most people probably know by now that a lot of the songs that he was popular for, they were sung by black singers years earlier. You know, it was not uncommon for people in the industry to go to little juke joints and, Memphis, Tennessee, and hear a song and then take it back to white artists, for lack of better words. What can you tell us about that? You know, you're older, you know, a little bit older. I would love to know a little bit what you know about the history of, I guess, you know, white artists taking black music.
You know, I just saw a article about this recently, and they talked about this a lot. A lot of the artists, a lot of the black artists were never even paid, publishing or writers, for writing songs that were stolen by other artists. You know, they didn't give the other artists credit. They, you know, they didn't give them no publishing. They didn't give them no writing. In fact, they may even took credit for writing the song. Because back then in the 50s, man, you think the record business is bad now? Imagine what it would have been back then. We still fighting over water fountains. So you got a hit record. I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it. And what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, what you gonna sue somebody? You had to get permission to sue somebody. But at some point in time, you could even sue people. White men couldn't sue. I mean, black men couldn't sue white people. Depending on where you was at. Yeah, no. So you have a lot of thievery, and some people would actually just steal the whole vibe, and just make it white. And that Elvis was notorious for that. Big Mama Thornton wrote Hound Dog. Okay.
Exactly.
Old black lady looked like Aunt Jemima, wearing a big old coat with a guitar, but she was rocking. And you know, and then they had another guy who, a black guy, I forgot his name. He's on YouTube, and when you hear and listen to him, Elvis took everything from him. Elvis just mimicked his whole style, the dancing, the hip movement, the whole 9 yards. But he was black. He was a studio guy. He had a great voice. And Elvis just mimicked his whole style. But again, because homeboy, he wasn't popular. He was black. What was he gonna do?
You know, a lot of people, including the artist I'm about to bring up now, calls himself, you know, the king of rock and roll. You know, I remember in the 80s hearing him say it, 90s hearing him say it. Very flamboyant dude, but very strong in the rock industry back then. I'm talking about Little Richard. What do you know about Little Richard and his relationship to the music biz? Did your parents listen to him? Like, what? Talk to us about Little Richard.
Back in the day, man, as a kid growing up, Little Richard was always flamboyant. And there was even bullshit rumors about Little Richard and James Brown going together. Like, what you mean? They both had them pressing curls back in the day. That was a style. Little Richard was always Little Richard for the most part. He was always on the suspect list, and you know, he wasn't no shame in his game, but he did so much, and he was so in your face. A lot of black folks was embarrassed by him. Some of them loved him, but you know, you got folks just, you know, just like with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. You got two sides to a coin. Some people love Little Richard because he was so flamboyant, and then others didn't like him because he came from the church, and he flipped up the church. He brought so much church stuff, so much of a church vibe to some of his music, just like Ray Charles did. Ray Charles brought a lot of church to his music, and people didn't like that. That in some people's minds, that was playing with the Lord. And that's blasphemy. James Brown, he's always been James Brown. Okay, he went for the money from the very beginning. So it was just, you know, Little Richard was always that dude. And when they started stealing his stuff and redoing it, he fought for it, but he still didn't get a lot of what he deserved. It wasn't until Michael Jackson bought the Sony catalog, publishing catalog, till Little Richard got his money. A lot of stuff that the Beatles did, Little Richard originally wrote it, but the Beatles got credit for it. Little Richard didn't get paid for it. And when Michael got in charge of the catalog, he made sure Little Richard got his money. That's a known fact. You can look that up on the internet. That's researchable. Okay. That was just a game back in the day, man. The game was cold, period, Doc. The game was cold. It was freezing back then.
Especially for a black artist.
Yeah.
Times 10. You know, Prince went in on the industry back in the 90s. What did Prince see that a lot of other artists didn't see, or they just ignore?
Prince realized that no matter what he did, the contract always spoke louder than the words. Prince didn't need your musicians. He didn't need your background singers. He didn't need your studio. Prince, he was a self-contained artist. And when he read his contract and realized that he was only getting fractions of a dollar for his royalties, what if I don't need your money? I don't know if I don't need your money. I'm gonna go to the studio and make everything myself. I'm gonna deliver the album. Give me a better deal. They said no. Then when he got into his contract, he realized that he'd also sold his name and likeness, and that is his real name. Outside of signing a contract or a check, he couldn't use his name to perform. That's why he started using that little symbol in his face that nobody knew what it stood for. But that was his name. Then he had Slave at one point etched into his beard. So Prince understood a long time ago where the money was, where the money was going. See, unlike Michael and a lot of other guys, Prince was his own everything. He was his own production company. He was his own engineer. So he didn't have to comply or compromise with other people's industry standards because he was a whole different animal by himself. He was a whole different animal by himself. And being that kind of guy, so you telling me is, what you telling me, I don't need your money, I don't need your studio, I'm gonna go spend my own money. All I need y'all to do is distribute it, and you still gonna give me the same deal? And that didn't make sense for him. You gotta remember, Prince was a Gemini. He was what they call a thinking man. Not saying other artists are not thinking men, but he probably gonna go a little deeper than a lot of cats when they realize, hey, wait. What I need you for? All I need you to do is ship my stuff, and I'll pay you to distribute it. Those deals came about later on, but they weren't gonna give him that because he was gonna lose too much money. Man, if somebody, people don't understand what a record deal really entails. When you're selling a product for $19 CDs, back then it was $18.99, and the artist might get, I don't know, 50 cents of that. The CD only costs you $1 to make at the height of CD manufacturing. So you got $16 that's pretty much going back to the record company. And the record company don't even owe the artist no money because that 50 cents that he's making, that's used to recoup what they spent on the product. So here is a company that literally hires you to make a project for them. It's their product. They're hiring you to make it. They're going to let you use your name. They're going to use your name, but I still own everything. I'm going to hire you to make it, and until this, and I want to get all my money back before you get any money. Okay, so that means, and not on the retail price, on your royalty rate. Based on the little bitty royalty rate that I'm giving you, you have to pay me back with that, not based on the overall sale of the product. So what I mean by that is, for number's sake, let's keep it real simple. We're going to go $10. If I'm going to give you $1 per record, I give you $100,000 as an advance. Everything going to stay in tens. Just keeping the math real simple. CD selling for $10. Of that $10, I'm going to give you one. But I'm also giving you $100,000 advance, okay? So $100,000 advance, 10 times 100 is 100,000. Am I correct? Am my math? My math is mathing, right? So you would think that selling 100 records at $10 a piece would get you. No, that's only 10,000. No, 10,000 records to get you $1 million. Okay, so but they said no. Forget what we're getting. We're only going to go by what you're getting. So that dollar we're giving you, you have to recoup our $100,000 based on your dollar royalty, which means you have to sell 100,000 records to get to 100,000. Which means we made $10 million and you're still at zero.
Yeah.
Okay, we made all this money, and now we just now started paying you at 100,001. You wonder why. You wonder why people always mad at record companies. You very seldom hear people that are really happy with record companies. Now, of course,
No,
marketing
you're
goes.
right.
Marketing budget goes to this, but of that 100,000 records that they had to sell, they get to give away 10% of them, 10% of them records. So at 100,000, they get to give away 10,000 records, valued at $10 a piece. So understand the math. You like, huh? When they told me that, I'm like, wait a minute, because I was an independent artist for a long time. A record cost me, I think, $1 to make with jackets and everything. I take that same record. If I took it to a wholesaler, I may charge. I'd get $2.50. If I took it to a retailer, I might get $3. If I sold it to the public, I might get $5 or $6, depending on what it was, whether it's an EP or an album. But again, it still cost me $1. So I'm used to getting most of the money. When we dropped our world-class album, I'm used to getting most of the money. Makola took it 15%, but the rest came back to crew cut. No, we didn't go platinum, but we still made a decent living because we got the bulk of the money. And that makes a big difference.
The record business has been like this forever. Why do you think people still go into it blindly? We talked about Blueface a few years ago. They're proud to not know about their contract.
Because people are what they call joiners. They'll join something just to say they belong to it. People enjoy being a part of something that's established. It makes them feel good because I have it and you don't. The fact that I'm on a record label and you're not, so it's everything to me. Whether I'm making any money or not, I have something that you don't have. They gave me a little bit of money. I can floss a little bit because most cats only floss for about the first 6 months of their contract. Then they realize they ain't got no more money coming. And I used to tell this joke all the time. People's got turned off, Jerry curls got dry, and your whole life changes only for a 6-month period. Because as soon as you realize that you get no more money for another this record sales, and you still got a 9-month period before you possibly can see a check. Unless you make some serious investments or got on a strict budget, you're not going to have any money. So that little influx of cash you get in the very beginning, then you run to the swap meet and go buy everything. What's that guy? It was a LL Willie at the Slauson swap meet. It was a Korean dude named LL Willie at the Slauson swap meet. He would just put on all kind of jewelry and chains and stuff and walk around his booth. LL Willie. And he had a hot store, jewelry store in Slauson swap meet. So you go down and see LL Willie and buy you some jewelry, some chains, and go around the corner, get your Jerry curl redipped, and buy you some rims and put some sounds in your shit. And you done blew a bunch of your money. All of a sudden, you got to go find a job till your album come out. Ask me how I know. I know 3 people that had to do the same thing.
Shout out to LL Willie. I'll go down that rabbit hole and see if I can get some information on LL Willie, man. Yeah. All right, yeah, let's keep it on this behind the scenes, talk, Lonzo, with the music industry. I like this type of talk. Court documents say that Tupac had roughly $7,000 in his bank account when he died, despite selling millions. Common story. You've kind of broken it down a little bit, but can you break down how something like that happens? Someone sells millions and millions and millions, biggest rapper ever. They appear to be living the best life in houses and cars and all that, but they die with $7,000 in their bank account.
Very easy, Doc, because you become a renter to the record company. What I mean by that is, record company signs you, give you a few dollars to put in your pocket, and then they want to prop you up with that lifestyle. So the record company already got cars leased, they got apartments leased, they got studios leased, they got women leased, they got all kinds of stuff already on their payroll. So they can give you this lavish lifestyle until, while you getting yourself together. They're hiring publicists to get you out to the public. But What they're not giving you is a whole lot of cash. And by the time you get your cash, all those things that you have been partaking in, the limousines and the rented cars and the rented houses, a lot of guys charge it back to your account. Ask Puffy what about Biggie's funeral. Same thing. So they let you live large. You think you're the man. I got me this hot rods up in the condo on Wilshire. I got a limo. I got a roll. I got a Benz. I got access to a Benz. I got access to this apartment. All this shit belongs to the record company. And if it wasn't you, somebody else is gonna be in there. Listen to some of them death row stories about how when Suge went to jail, everybody had allowances. And when a certain young lady took over, she cut everybody off. All the cars stopped.
Cars.
Picked up cars. Folks got evicted. They couldn't eat. They had to go find jobs. So this is the kind of game people play with you because they put you in that lifestyle because you think because you're in the record industry, you're supposed to live like this. You're supposed to live like the results, not the process. It's a difference. You're living like the results, not the process. And that's where
a line. That's a line for your ass.
That's what most cats. Man, look, it happens every day. People, a lot of black people, especially us, love to look like the result and not the process. What I mean by that is people want to have the illusion that they've made all this money. That's why you got the fake Louis, the fake chains, the cars, the fake tennis shoes, whatever the case may be. But you haven't done anything to really earn this. You just you got somebody with a hookup. You know where to get the good chains at. You know where to get the good Louis at. I had a friend of mine on he sell Louis Vuitton on Crenshaw and Stocker. Sold it by the tons. It was good looking Louis. But if you don't know Louis, shit. Most people don't really know. But this stuff came in nice bags. I mean, it was really well made knockoff shit till she got caught. But again, if you don't know what somebody else has, you have the illusion that this person got what they say they got, whether it be a Louis bag or what's them other bags, Fendi bags, whatever the case may be. If somebody know how to knock them off, as you very well saw on some of these when the tariffs hit, they were showing you. A lot of these bags are made in China. Then they put the labels on in France or wherever they put them on. So you can live that lifestyle and still not spend no real money and look like you've already been through the process of success. But you haven't. You just playing the role.
Yep.
If you look at the bottom of the screen, looking at this Big Mama Thornton 45 Hound Dog, songwriters are Jay Lieber, M. Stroller, and Jay Otis. Jay Otis is probably Johnny Otis. That's the guy I bought my house from back in the day. He was that dude. He was that kind of player. Real shit. Just so you know.
Yep.
Might have been recorded in my studio.
Johnny
I
Otis.
don't know. Might have been recorded right here in Japan. Ain't no telling.
That's crazy, man. The history, baby, the history.
Yeah.
All right, we're about halfway through. Go on and hit that like button if you have not already. We really do appreciate it. And please hit that subscribe button if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear. You are tuned in to N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. That is Alonzo Williams, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. If you don't know, go down that rabbit hole and check out his history. And please join me at 7 o'clock on my channel. I'm going to post the link in the chat. We're going to be talking about Arsenio Hall, the dark truth about Arsenio Hall show. We're going to go over some Arsenio Hall clips, some of the more famous ones, and we're going to talk about the end of Arsenio Hall and how it came to be. So if you are a true 90s fan, join me on my channel. I'll post the link in the chat. Lonzo, tell them about Band Buzz.
Band Buzz, folks. If you know something, as I promote Band Buzz, I realize it's two types of artists. Artists that can stream records and an artist that can sell records. Streaming records and selling records are two different things. Anybody can get caught up in a stream. But what like Motown said back in the day, either you're going to buy this sandwich or you're going to buy this song. And that's what a lot of artists miss at right now. Oh man, we streaming big time. But are you selling any music? Can your music sell? If you weren't in the streaming era, would you be able to motivate somebody to get in their car, catch the bus, walk to a record store, walk in the store, specifically looking for what you created? Think about that for a minute. And that's where Band Buzz puts the rubber to the road. If you're an artist and you have something that can sell, that's the ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is not to stream music. I just read the other day, me and my partner from Band Buzz was reading the article the other day, 1 million streams, get you
$4,000 or $5,000, right?
$4,000 or $5,000. $1 million. Mm-hmm. Most cats don't get nowhere near that. Okay? I don't think all the songs I have collectively had 1 million streams. All right, so, but you keep feeding the pipeline. And I saw an article was Pepper from Salt and Pepper, Salt from Salt and Pepper, talking about how Spotify want to claim ownership of your intellectual property to stream on their platform. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Crazy.
Are you out of your mind? So you're looking at a current situation where streaming platforms are charging the customer, then they charging the advertisers, and then they're not paying anybody for the content that they're streaming on the platforms. And the few people they are paying are not enough to make a real big dent. Meanwhile, if they hit a lick, they claim partial ownership. Oh man, hell no. And that's what Band Buzz separates the men from the boys. If you have good product, you can sell it. Once you sign up with Band Buzz, you'll get a QR code. That's your QR code to your music page, and you can promote that page. It's like having a record store all over the world, distribution everywhere. In fact, I'm gonna drop my album on Band Buzz. I'm gonna drop my link this month on my next issue, just to see. I'm gonna promote that link, and so I can hopefully show people by example how you can make money with Band Buzz. And this, once you promote your link, you promote your QR code, and you also, that same QR code will allow you to do meet and greets, so people can hear you, talk to you direct, and you can get paid for that. You can sell your merchandise, you can pay for that. So Band Buzz is a one-stop shop. Yeah, I've seen people send me links from Spotify. You can download, but that's it. You can't do no meet and greets. You can't talk to your clientele. You can't do no video calls. You can't do nothing. You can download it. And then even with that, you got to download the app to go through a bunch of bullshit. I hate Spotify. People send me things all the time. Most of them I wouldn't even open them. I've tried to open them for the past.
It opens up when it's not supposed to. Oh, I'm not a fan of Spotify.
Right. Then it doesn't. Then it takes forever to get where you want to go. Then they want to say you some other shit. I don't want to. I came here for this man right here. He got me to come to your site to listen to what they want, what he's trying to get me to hear. But I got to go through all this other bullshit. Man, get out of here. Band Buzz allow you to hear, I think it's a 30-second clip of the music before you purchase it. Once you push it, once you decide to buy it, it downloads straight to your phone. Simple as that. Come on, man. If you're performing live anywhere and you have flyers or a banner and you're really throwing down and people want to support you, all you got to do is scan your QR code, go to your page, download your music. You'll have your money before you walk off stage. If you want to keep in contact with your fan base, set up a video call through Band Buzz and you can have them in the studio critiquing your new product or just shooting the shit. You can do a Facebook Live, but it don't really go back and forth. You can do a Facebook Live. Yeah, I'm over here at so studio. Then they can hear you, but you came. I don't even think you do a chat room. You could do a chat room, but be able to talk to your favorite artist live through a video call. Come on, man, that's a big difference. That makes a big difference. And because you're an artist, people will pay for that experience. Chris Brown charges what? $1,000 for a meet and greet. You can do a meet and greet with Band Buzz, charge whatever you want to charge, $5 or $500. Makes us no difference. So Band Buzz is a one-stop shop for artists of all types. It's not just a hip hop thing. And because I'm associated with hip hop, don't want you to think that it's a gospel thing, it's an R&B, it's country western. Music is music. Whatever you selling, you can sell it through Band Buzz. And that's the difference. You got something that people want to support. You can use Band Buzz as a fundraiser for your group. Hey man, buy a new single. Band Buzz does charge a 20% distribution fee, but the rest of the money goes to you. And you get it instantly. So, hey man, check out Band Buzz. Available on iStore and the Google iPhone and Apple Store and iPhone. All right.
There it is. BANDBUZZ. If you have an artist friend in your life, tell them about it today. We really appreciate it. Let's keep it pushing. Lonzo, subject I would love your thoughts on. Tekashi 6ix9ine, someone we discussed at length in the past. He went viral this week again for saying he's going to continue saying the N-word until the quote nigga police come and stop. Well, I'll let you hear. Let's listen to Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's a controversial statement about the N-word.
And nobody look at it as racist. Don't make it a race thing, bro.
I think it's because black people voice their frustration with it. And
no, they think they can manipulate people into feeling like they're doing something wrong. That's why I said I'm gonna continue to say it, and I'm gonna wait for that big bad wolf to stop me. Because I'm not gonna stop being me for some politically correct thing. I'm not doing that.
What are your thoughts on that, Lonzo?
Well, first of all, we're listening to a man whose face looks like an overpass in East LA. Okay, first of all, I'll say that right there. But we created this monster. We created this monster. Everybody want to be so cool with everybody else, and it's our word. We redesigned it. We reclaimed it. Bullshit. You can't reclaim something, or it's hard to reclaim something that was never yours in the first place. It was used as a weapon against you forever. Yeah, and we do it a little different, but we gave a lot of permission, a lot of leeway with that word. And here's the flip side to that coin. It's hard to alleviate the word when the mindset is so prevalent in our community. It's hard to alleviate the word when the mindset is so prevalent in our community. And here's the bad part. Here's the crazy part, I should say. The word comes with a level of pride. You hear it all the time. I'm a real. So when you say something with that kind of pride, it's like saying, I'm a real Republican, I'm a real Democrat, I'm a real Boy Scout, I'm a real AKA. If you are proud to be a part of a group, it's hard to take that pride away from somebody, even if that group is deemed to be detrimental to your community. And that's one of the problems that we have socially as a people. Tyree, what's up, Doc? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Tyree.
That's one of the problems we have in our community, man. Is just that people, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a whole social institute just watching, like, look at that right there. Some people be watching mice and rats to eat cheese and fight over. Look at, man, could you imagine? Because it was a sister this morning. In the morning, let me tell you about Lonzo. Before I get up, I scroll social media. I do about 35, 40 minutes, depending on what I'm doing. I might be, doing that throne thing. I'm scrolling. And I see some stuff that sometimes it makes a lot of sense, because depending on what you are into, the algorithms will send you certain kind of things. Okay. And this sister was showing me she was talking about how the internet and social media, and she said that shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta provided a platform for women to act crazy on television. And when you do that kind of stuff, it sets a precedent and it inspires women to do certain things. People in general, but more so women, because a lot of your shows, Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of Beverly Hills, Housewives of Orange County, showed a bunch of rich women who have no business being as angry as they are. They got all the nails, they got all the hair, they got the house, they got the man, they got the car, and they still can't find a way to get along. Her video that she was playing while she was talking looked like it came from a female church choir. They was twerking in the church choir, in the church robes. They was getting busy in the church robes. So this is the same generation that gives you the bonnet babes at the airport, pajama sisters, the footsie shoes in the bank. This been back in the day. Black women didn't do no shit like that. My mama would have a fit if my sister went outside and put the trash out with rollers in her hair. My mama would have a fit if my sister went outside to put the trash out with rollers in her hair if her hair didn't have a scarf on it. Okay? A scarf can get you by a lot of things, okay? It was kind of obvious she was going through something. So a scarf, rollers under a scarf might get you past some things, okay? But nowadays, you go to the airport, folks got their blankets, their pajamas, they got their footsies, and the lady was just saying today that shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta and shows like that provide a platform to give women the excuse or the idea that this type of situation was be tolerated. And what they call that word, nigga burnout?
Black fatigue.
Black fatigue.
Right?
Black fatigue. Okay, because and that's what happened when you try to live up to a word that is never meant you any good. I'm a real B, I'm a real N. And you go out there and do real N and real B stuff. That's why they don't want your ass on Carnival Cruise right now. That's why they change all the rules on shit like that, because you take that attitude everywhere. You unapologetically are being an N-word. Everywhere, all the time. And you think everybody's supposed to accept that, and everybody's going to accept it. Some restaurants won't accept it. And you wonder why you don't have nightclubs and bowling alleys and movie theaters in your community, because that attitude is bad for business. Bottom line. That attitude is bad for business. Ask me how I know. I've been dealing with business in the Black community for over 50 years. And that attitude can cost you money. Combine that with some gangbanging, and you'll be out of business in a matter of weeks. I've had situations where people, man, it's night to Eve, what's going down? Why are you bringing your bullshit to the Eve? Oh man, they're gonna come up here. They're gonna fight in the parking lot. Why you gonna fight in the parking lot at the Eve? You pass 4-5 parks to everybody want an audience. And nowadays, everybody got a camera, so everybody got an audience. And you recorded it, and you get to put it on the internet. And hopefully, you might get 1 million views, get that $5,000. Meanwhile, the club owner is gonna catch all kind of lawsuits, gonna catch all kind of hell. His incident report is gonna be damaged. He might have to go before the city council. He might lose his liquor license. He might lose his business license, or his insurance may go up. Either one of those 3 situations, insurance, liquor license, or business license, and you're done. And you're still stuck with a lease. You're still stuck with a lease. You can be shut down for any one of those reasons in a matter of minutes and still have to pay your lease the best way you can. I've been very fortunate. I've had some misfortunes in the music, in the entertainment business, but most of my landlords have always been cool people. I'm thankful for, because when something happened, my landlords were on my side as opposed to the side of the fools. But when you not leasing from somebody that looks like you, they don't give a damn about what you're going through, give them the money. You wonder why places like not World on Wheels, Skate Depot is no longer, because you got 100,000 square foot building that you only using so many days a week. Yes, it's a great activity for the community, but it'll draw negativity. It'll draw is. They gonna let you have nothing. In words, will not let anything survive because it's all about them. It's all about them and their activities. They come to show flow. Man, don't get me started. We're gonna change the whole we're gonna change the algorithms on this damn page today, boy. And this is the difference in somebody who knows what he's talking about, who's done what he's talking about. And this is I can explain to you why you don't have things in the Black community. First of all, any insurance company in certain areas, they're going to charge you up the ass because they know the probability of shit jumping off is higher over here than it is over there. That's why you got here in LA, you got to drive to Lakewood to go to a movie. You got to drive to Carson to go to a movie. If you live in LA, closest movie you might be able to go to is the Magic Johnson Theater over in
Magic Johnson.
Baldwin. Yeah, that's not Magic Johnson, but it's Baldwin Theater over there. So I mean, from Crenshaw to
Lake. I mean, damn.
Wait. From Crenshaw to, man, if I go up, let me see, what street? The longest street of that, Slauson. You went up Slauson, from Crenshaw to Slauson, you wouldn't find a movie theater until you damn near got to 605 freeway.
Exactly.
Think about that, man.
Damn.
From Crenshaw. Now they have a Cineplex over in Hollywood Park now. I haven't been there yet, but them tickets they made regular tickets. Those are not regular tickets. Those are not regular $10 tickets. You have to do like maybe 15 or something like that because they got the reclining chairs, they got the alcohol. It's an experience. They say it's an experience. That means it's high as hell. They finna go up in you, Doc, huh? When they tell you, come on, be a part of this experience, expect for you to get your ass to get tore out, okay? Because that's what they do. When your barber or your beautician to one, I don't just give you haircuts, I give you the experience. And put them black gloves on, you finna get tore up. Hell
nah, that's extra $60.
You finna get tore up, okay? They put them gloves on the black ones, oh, Negro. You better go to where the barber that's gloveless and go and get you a regular haircut. I don't need the barber experience. I just need this nose hairs clipped, this beard trimmed up. Okay, so yeah, Doc, this is what you're dealing with, man. You know the experience. So again, from Carson, that's the nearest theater to me. From Carson, which is on Del Amo, the next theater you can go to is on Adams. Going north and south. From Del Amo, you will not find another theater until you get to Adams, unless you go to Crenshaw. If you go straight up Avalon or Figueroa, you will not see another theater until you get to Adams. That's by USC. Okay? So, all that's for a reason. If you want to go bowling, where you gonna go bowling at? You can't go bowling nowhere. You got to go to Lucky Strike downtown or by Pico.
Downey,
Torrance.
Yeah, all the bowling alleys closed. Gage Bowl, all them. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Gage, I think it still has one, right? Yeah.
If you just want to have a good time in bowling, you go to Long Beach. Yeah.
There you go.
Carson Street. You go to Carson. But if you just want to have a good time, go bowling with your girl, just chill out. You're not gonna do it nowhere in the community. All that's for a reason, man. All that is based on attitude and potential for violence, and the fact that if I spent this multi-million-dollar property, would it stay safe enough to get my money back? And then you wonder why everybody wants to move out to Moreno Valley or whatever. It's all the same thing, man. It's all the same reason. A lot of situations that we endure is self-inflicted.
Facts.
A lot of the problems we have here is self-inflicted. Ain't nobody driving in from Moreno Valley or Marina Del Rey or Orange County to come mess with the hood. It don't work like that. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, all right, you broke that down nicely. Yeah, the Tekashi 6ix9ine and the N-word thing. As the man who spawned the group that made the N-word possible, I'm obviously talking about N.W.A. Is this N.W.A.'s fault?
You know, yes and no. This is Richard Pryor's fault. Richard Pryor made the N-word popular as hell back in the day. He had multiple albums using that word in his title. Bicentennial. This is crazy, okay? This N is crazy. Bicentennial N, okay? Richard Pryor, he made the word just so flow, so well, okay? I mean, at 16, 17 years old in the 70s, that was unheard of. I tell you what, when I first time I heard it on the record was with Curtis Mayfield. Curtis Mayfield had a song called Hell Below, and it goes, N-words, whiteys, Jews, Jews, Jews. If there's a hell below, we all gonna go. And you heard it. You heard it. And he used it in, I think,
Pusha Man.
Pusha Man.
I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that nigga in the alley.
Okay, so all the 70s kind of popped it open, but it wasn't accepted, you know. And I think because they brought it to the forefront, meaning Richard Pryor and Curtis Mayfield, groups like N.W.A. just took it and magnified it and made it part of their whole lifestyle, their whole culture. And then when they did it, everybody just like, okay, cool. And here's something else that people don't realize, okay? And I saw a guy talking about this today on Instagram, yesterday on Instagram. You can say N-word, 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 but you better not say nothing to start with a J. We fought against ourselves to maintain that word in existence. As politically correct as this country has become over the past 10, 15 years, that's one word that kind of just skipped over everything. Nobody gave a damn about that. You can't say nothing. You call somebody a short person a midget, you got a problem. Okay? You call somebody the cigarette name in England, you got a problem. But that one word superseded everybody because the people who it's supposed to offend it wasn't offended by it until somebody else said it. Now that's some crazy shit. Ain't nobody mad. Me and you can go all there, but what? Let somebody non-melanated use the word, and you got a World War III. And that's
I hear more Asians, Hispanics, whites saying it nowadays than I do black people even.
And again, we allowed that. We created that. We fed that monster, and you got to understand, man. And this is something that 69 years of experience. How old am I? 60? I'm 68. 68 years of experience will get you. We established cool around the globe. We established cool around the globe. Our vocabulary, our way of dress, our way of talking. If people deem what comes out of our mouth as being cool, it's going to be duplicated, replicated, and reproduced in many different ways as possibly can. And so most things we don't care. They can sag their pants. They can wear chucks. They can wear Jordans. They can wear the bandanas. But say that word, and we got a problem. But we reclaim that word. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I remember a few years ago they were trying to get rid of the word. There was a few people trying to say, hey, let's boycott the word. It didn't work, huh?
They buried it, but you know, when you got here's something else people forget. When enough money is behind something, I don't give a damn what you say. I don't care what you say. It's money behind this. If they gonna get me rich from saying this word, I don't care. And that's the attitude. And not enough people stood up behind it. Not enough people stood up behind it. There is no Black Anti-Defamation League. There's non-existent. Jewish community has a Jewish Anti-Defamation League. Nobody can say anything negative about that community, man. Nobody. Don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell you. I told you the story before. I'm gonna tell you again for those who, for the first time, or just start watching this show. While I was at McCullough Records, there was a group called Two Live Jews, named themselves after Two Live Crew. Before the record hit the streets, they got a cease and desist letter from the Jewish Anti-Defamation League. And Don McMillan, who owned McCullough Records, is confused. Like, these are Jewish people. I don't care. They don't care. They don't say anything negative. I don't care. Take our community name out of your title and don't release this record. It's going to be what they say on Life. It's going to be consequences and repercussions. And the record never came out. You might find a copy of it on Discogs. I don't know what it cost you, but it's probably going to cost you a little bit because it never really got circulated. I think it might have got slightly released before they came with both barrels. We don't have that kind of cultural defense, man. And if we did, here's the bad part. It would divide the community even more.
Break that down.
Because you got black folks that don't want to be N-words, and you got the N-words that don't want to be nothing but N-words. So they're gonna fight with they're gonna fight with each other over that word. They're gonna fight for the right to be N-words.
Our ancestors are rolling in their grave right now, dog. Our ancestors are rolling in their grave right now, dog.
It's my right to be what I want to be. If I want to be, that's my right. Just like women have the right to be a bitch till a man calls you one. No other group, you don't see little people fighting for the right to be midgets. You don't shit like that. You don't see shit like that with nobody with us, man. Again, I'm just observing. I can't help but observe what the hell I see. And you have never heard, I've heard some gay guys, come on, y'all, say crazy fat, crazy F word. I ain't gonna say it. Crazy F word, yeah. But again, you will never see the group N.W.A. You ain't gonna hear it. Ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. There's certain things that, and this is how I was raised. It was certain things that stayed behind the closed doors. It was strictly between us. If you heard that word as a kid, I heard that word as a kid, it was never a word of endearment. And my daddy never would call another black man one of them before a white man. Now, if a white man called a black man that in front of my dad, he would have to look and make sure my daddy ain't got nothing to hit him beside the head with. He wasn't gonna sit there and grin. He might not have said nothing, but he knew that was if it was ever said, it was definitely a problem. And he may have thought about it after he said, may have apologized after he said it, but it was not thrown around like you got the right to say it. Never, never, ever, ever. It wasn't until the 90s the folks felt they were entitled to say the word, and then everybody else wanted to say it. I say it as well. I was watching a movie with what's that movie? Damn it, Bad Grandpa. Was it Bad Grandpa? And he was Robert De Niro. Yeah. He was doing Ice Cube. Go ahead, say it. And so he said, "Everybody, oh shit, man, come on, dude, come on, man, we come on, we need some thought about that. Need some serious thought."
Thought about that. You're right.
Huh?
You're right about that, man. Breaking it down, Lonzo. Spit that game tonight. Let's go on and wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining the channel. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. And once again, if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. As soon as this show's over in about a minute, join me on my channel. We're going to be talking about Arsenio Hall, everything about Arsenio back in the day, some of the key moments and the downfall of Arsenio Hall. If you're a big 90s fan, join me right now. I'm going to post the link in the description. Lonzo, any last words, or you want to hit him with that outro?
Man, I would love to watch your. I'll probably watch it later on because I remember when Arsenio got canceled and why he got canceled. I remember that very vividly. All right, folks. Before you, Time to roll out, baby. Time to roll out. Hope y'all learned something. If you didn't learn nothing, I hope I entertained you in the meantime, folks. Before I go, for those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold. On the eve after dark, 50-yard line in the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood BS because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that NWA stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.
Welcome to N.W.A. story with Lonzo, the godfather of the West Coast. Now you know, with Dusty Vision on the side, we ride, taking you back to where legends came alive. From ruthless roots to the studio scene, classic tales that the world's never seen. Every Tuesday night we spark the heat, from 6 to 7, history on repeat. So sit back, tap in, and enjoy the vibe. If you love hip hop, like and subscribe.